So, just a few testimonies. As soon as the first person come on, I'll start. Okay. Since I'll be sharing this video, I'm going to just go ahead and start. Whoever gets on, gets on. So when I was born, I was not breathing when I was born. I came out purple and lifeless. They had to bag me to get me to breathe. At the age of 2, I was diagnosed with asthma. And also around that time, I was in a car with my mom. And I have to write down stuff, and because I ramble a lot and I like to get off topic a lot, so I have to write things down. So that's what I'm reading, what I wrote. So also around the age of 2, I was in a car with my mom in my car seat. I unbuckled myself, I opened the door, and I fell out. It happened so fast that my mother ran over my leg. She didn't realize she ran over my leg. My mother heard me scream, and she jumped out the car. She picked me up, running down the street to our house. There was a man who witnessed the whole thing, and he ran after me yelling, or after her yelling, you ran over her leg, you ran over her leg. My mom looked down and my leg swelled up. My mom said she busted in the house and told my dad what happened. The neighbor drove the car back to the house and gave my mother the keys. My mom, brother, and dad drove me to the hospital. My mom ran me in the ER, and she told them that she ran over my leg. They took me from my mother and rushed me to get an x-ray. They came back a few moments later and said there was no break. I refused to walk on my leg, so they put a splint on it. By the end of the day, I was running around on it, and my parents took off the splint. No swelling, no pain, but God. My mom said every time I got in the car seat after that, I would tell her, strap mommy. When I was 5, or around 5, I don't know, 5, 6, I used to always ride with my aunt to her daycare. And I used to always sit in the middle. And one day, I guess my mother randomly decided that she was going to take me to school. The day that she decided that she was going to take me to school, my aunt, who I usually rode with, got in a bad accident. She totaled her car, and right in the middle where I was sitting, there was either a pole or a tree that ran through it. So if I was there, I would have died. So I just thank God for that. Let's see. As children, a lot of us do dumb stuff. We say dumb stuff. We do stuff without thinking. We have to learn that, with our actions and what we say and what we do comes with consequences through spankings or getting on punishment. And it takes consistent whoopings, consistent punishments. It takes consistency from parents for the child to learn, that thing that they were doing was wrong, or that thing that they say was wrong. And I learned that with my kids. Some of the stuff, I forget their age, and I'd be like, what were you thinking? The fact is that children do not think. Our brain doesn't fully develop until the age of 25. Some people are sooner, but for the majority of us and average people, our brain doesn't fully develop until the age of 25. So all the way from the time we're born to the time we're 25, we make immature decisions, we make immature choices, and we do things without really thinking of consequences or without really thinking rationally. I know a lot of us thought we were grown at the age of 16 and 17. I know I did. Our brain, like I said, doesn't fully develop until the age of 25 on average. So my mom was big on thinking things through. She was big on telling us that, if we do wrong, we're going to suffer consequences. And I believe that is what helped me to become a lot mature than the age of 25, because I always remembered those things. There's consequences for your action, and to not do dumb stuff. And if you do dumb stuff or do the wrong thing, that there are consequences that come with that. So a lot of that helped mold me into becoming a little bit more mature before the age of 25, when your brain is developed and matured. But I thought I was so grown when I was 17 that I ran away for a week. I ran away. During that time, I don't know if some of y'all might remember online chatting. I used to do a lot of that. And it wasn't until I got older when I realized I put myself in a lot of dangerous situations. When I ran away at the age of 17, I ran away to somebody that I met online. He was 37, and I went to his house. I actually stayed at my boyfriend's house at that time, and basically he couldn't. I mean, he lived with his mom, so he had to take me somewhere. So I stayed at my boyfriend's house for the first day. The second day, I had my boyfriend drop me off at my friend's house, and I spent the night over there. The third day, I had the guy from the online chat pick me up from her house, and I went to his house. When I tell y'all, I was scared. Like, I was so scared and traumatized by that I didn't talk for years about it. Like, nobody ever knew what really happened. Nothing happened to me, but it was just the fact that I put myself in such a dangerous situation that I was embarrassed to even talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it, and I didn't talk about it because I was embarrassed by that. I was so scared. Like, I didn't eat. I had lost. Now, I've been slim all my life, so I don't have weight to be losing, but I lost 10 pounds. When I came back home, I was 98 pounds. And my mom was just like, you look sick. You don't look well. And she had me eating and everything else. But I think they were just happy that I came back home. But I really put myself in a dangerous situation. He would have people over in the middle of the night, and I would just be in a room, lock myself in a room. I was so scared. I was throwing up. Like, I didn't eat, so I was throwing up like this green acid. I can't even explain it. It was like lime green. I was throwing up lime green. I couldn't even eat. I was skipping school. It was not safe at all. But when I came back, how I got back is I contacted an ex-boyfriend of mine, because me and my current boyfriend wasn't talking, and I had him take me home, and he gave me a whole pep talk like he was my dad and took me home. But that really changed me, and I really started to act a lot better towards my parents during that time, and my mom will vouch for me with that. When I was 19, I was attending Lincoln University at the time, and I used to be around people who smoke weed. I mean, that's what a lot of college students did. And occasionally I would smoke weed. One day we all was smoking weed. It was me, a girl's boyfriend, and a friend of mine at the time. We was all in a car, and we got pulled over by a police officer, and we had just got done smoking, so it was smelling like weed. And right before the cop came to the car, the guy who was driving had like a sandwich bag full of weed, and he threw it to the girl, and the girl stuffed it up her pants. And they actually got arrested, but they got arrested because the guy and the girl had some unpaid tickets they didn't take care of. So let's see. So a lot of times when we went to the club, fights would break out, shootouts would break out. One time we were at this club, and somebody started shooting, and me and my friends, we was running, thinking we was running away from the shots, and we were actually getting closer to the shots. And I just remember praying like, oh God, get me out of this. You know how we do. Lord, if you get me out of this situation, I promise I'll live right. Knowing we wasn't going to live right because I didn't. And one day I went to a party and I got drunk, like really, like about to pass out drunk. And I started seeing double vision and I just knew something wasn't right. So I went to the bathroom. I was so wasted that I got on the bathroom floor, and I'm telling you, that bathroom floor was like disease written all over it. It was trifling. But I didn't care at that point. I was just trying to relieve myself. I started trying to throw up, trying to get the alcohol out my system. I was trying to do whatever it took to stay up, because I was like seeing black spots. I was in and out. My eyes started rolling in the back of my head. And so I noticed that when I sat down, I was a lot calmer, and my vision wasn't as blurred. So I sat down and I kind of was curled up, and I was just praying to myself. Here I go praying again. I got myself in some mess and I'm praying again. So I'm praying just like, oh my God, Lord, help me, help me, help me, keep me up, keep me up, keep me up. And some stranger, this college age girl, comes up to me and she's like, you know, where are you by yourself? And I'm like, no, I came with my roommate and some friends. She's like, where are they? I said, they're still dancing. She was like, you're by yourself? I'm like, yeah. She's like, what kind of friends do you have? She said, you need to get yourself together and get out of here. She said, you need to go find your friends or whoever drove and tell them that you need to go. So I went to find my roommate. I got her and I'm like, we got to go. You know, I'm wasted. I need to sit down or lay down or something. We got to go. And she was like, I'm not leaving. She said, I paid too much money to get in here. I'm not leaving. So I said, well, can I please, you know, just use your keys so I can lay down? And she gave me a whole pep talk and, you know, better not lose my keys and da-da-da. So I laid down in the car and I passed out. And I don't even remember getting home, but we got back to the room. But that girl the stranger who came up to me and started talking to me, made me realize that those aren't my friends, because they should have came to the bathroom with me, or they should have left, you know, when they saw that I was wasted to the point I couldn't barely stand up. Like, and nobody was there. I was by myself. Nobody came to the car with me. I was by myself. I laid there and passed out. I locked the doors, passed out. They had to bang on the door to get me to open the door. But I just realized that I didn't have friends. And so after that point, I kind of kept to myself. And that's kind of where me being to myself stemmed from. Even to this day, I really don't communicate too much, except when I have to. I don't really talk about my personal life at work. I don't, you know, try to make friends at work. I just do my job. I'm polite. People like me. People like that, you know, I don't have an attitude. People like that I do a good job at what I do. But people know that I don't drink. They know I don't cuss. They know I don't really talk that much. Everybody always says I'm quiet, and I keep it that way because y'all not finna put my name in no mess. Y'all not finna have me in no drama. I dealt with all of that in my college years. I don't want none of that. Y'all can't bring my name up. People have tried it. They've tried to bring my name up and say that I did something that I didn't do. And because of my reputation, my bosses or my co-workers were able to be like, that don't sound like something Ronnie would do. And I thank God for that. And I thank God that I stayed out of trouble, because that kept me my job, where other people were getting fired for he say, she say stuff. I don't got time, you know. I'm trying to live. I'm trying to support my family. I don't have time to be getting caught up in that stuff. So I'm just saying this to say, stay prayerful, because a lot of us are where we are through other people's prayers. When we were young, dumb, stupid, doing stuff that we shouldn't have been doing. It's people's prayers that kept us safe. You know, there's been plenty of times I put myself in situations where I should have been harmed but wasn't even touched. And I just thank God for whoever was praying for me. I know my mother was. I thank God for her. I thank God for the church family at the time praying for me, because that kept me away from a lot of mess that I could have gotten myself into. Even the mess that I got myself into, it could have been a lot worse had people not been praying for me. And that's why I'm so big on you gotta pray, because your prayers are going to last for generations to come. Because I know my mother's prayers kept me. Even if you don't see instant results from your prayers, keep praying for people you love. God is moving on your behalf. I want to encourage y'all, just keep doing the right thing. That's been on my heart for the past few weeks. Just keep doing right. People are watching you, and they are being encouraged and strengthened through you, seeing through you that there is still hope. There are still genuine Christians who really love God, and in return, because we love God, we love people, and we are respectful and friendly to people, and our lives show that there must be a God out there, because, you know, when chaos breaks out, you can still remain calm. You're not getting all hyped up like everybody else, and you can still think things through and do things the way that they're supposed to be done. Not everyone will like your change, but keep doing the right thing. Not everyone will understand what God is doing in your life, and it's not for them to understand. God wants to use your story to reach the ones who feel like they cannot be reached. I've talked to so many people who feel like Christians are perfect, and we're not. You know what I'm saying? All of us are on our own process to doing the right thing. Some of us are still baby saints, and it doesn't matter what age you are, but just keep doing the right thing, and don't judge people, because we messed up too. Try to help as many people as you can, encourage as many people as you can, try to speak life to as many people as you can. And God has been even showing me that through my marriage, because there's been times where I kind of talked down on my husband, and that was wrong of me. And I just thank God that he is growing me, because it's helping me naturally as well as spiritually. And people just need to see that Christians are human just like they are. Christians have been through some of the same mess that they are in now, and they just need to see that we can still love them even in their mess, because that is what will bring our love for people, is what will bring people to Christ. And that's what people need to see, that there are Christians who are not downing them, who are not judging them, who are not speaking bad about their sin, who are trying to help them, who are trying to listen to them, because sometimes people just want you to listen. They don't really want you to say much. They just want you to be a listening ear. And we need to go back to treating people out of love, not being so much in our flesh that we are, because we've been there too. We were a mess too. God had to pick us up and dust us off and get us together too. So we have to remember that and keep that installed in our bodies, in our minds, that we were there too, and they need to go through the process just like we needed to go through the process. And we can't belittle these people, because that can turn a soul away from Christ instead of bringing them. Our love is what brings people to Christ, and that's what we need to keep in our hearts. So my thing is, just keep doing the right thing. If it's wrong, stop doing it. Keep doing the right thing. Keep getting in your word. Keep praying. Keep speaking life to people that you love. Keep encouraging people, and just have your lifestyle show that there is a God, there is a Christ out there. There is somebody who will change you, who will lift you up, who will pull you out of darkness. There is somebody, and that somebody is Jesus. So stay encouraged, you guys. I hope you got something out of this, and I'll be doing more live videos. I'm not sure if I'll be doing them every day, but I will continue to do live videos. For people who are praying for me, just keep praying for me, because this is so out of my comfort zone. It's not even funny. So if you haven't seen it from the beginning, go back and watch it again. And God bless you guys. Love you.